Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for Posture Alignment with Kimberly. Today is November 7th. Go ahead, Kim.
Thanks. Quick intro. Okay, guys. Oh, hi, Maureen. Oh, I'm recognizing people. Good to see you. Okay, so if anybody's new out there in TV land, I'm just going to bring everybody up to speed. This is an ongoing class. My name is Kim, and everybody out here, I'm going to address you guys. If you do know what you're doing and you've been with me for a while and you want to do what some of the other people are doing, you could lay down in your static back. You could take your block after that if you feel like going for static back knee pillow squeezes and then do some pullovers. Everybody else, you're not going to know what the heck I'm talking about. So I'm going to try and bring you guys right. I'm going to bring you guys up to speed. We were having a talk, me and Paula, right? Having a talk about what's most important in this class. Even before I go over the posture garbage and stuff like that, you got to listen to your body. So I don't live in your body. I love saying it that way because you live in your body, not me. You guys know what the bad pain is and what the, okay, that's just workout pain is. Some of you don't. Some of you have to relearn that. Oh, that hurts. Well, yeah, it's supposed to burn when you're doing a workout, right? So only you guys know the difference between the good pain and the bad pain. Something doesn't feel right, don't do it. There's plenty of exercises I can give you. And if I can't give you a modification that works for you, skip it. We're usually done in a few minutes anyway, and we'll do something else. It's no big deal, no big deal. But as things go on, you might revisit these exercises and realize, wow, I could do this now. Right, Gloria? Yep. Right. 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 So some exercises, some weeks, like, oh my gosh, sends people through the roof. Might send them home limping, hopefully not. But when you realize that, oh, this hurts, here's my sign, stop doing it. Maybe next week or the week after, maybe it'll change, but we'll find something. That's all I want to say about that. Let's get into the whole posture stuff. You know what? I want to talk to you guys. Did you get dragged here kicking and screaming? Yes. Okay. I knew somebody would say yes. Okay. Okay. You wanted to go to the beach. All right. I'm going to rub some salt in your eyes, okay? To make you feel better. No, you get salt. Salt is all I have. Salt, you get salt. So what did you expect out of this class? Exercise. Yeah, it is an exercise class. Yeah. So at some points you might sweat, you might feel some stuff. So we got to make sure it's okay with your doctor that you're doing this. Go for it.
A safe way to move.
Oh, I love her word. She said, safe way to move, but still move. I love it. Beautiful wording. And that's how I came into doing this stuff too. Because I screwed up giving people some other information from another protocol. Hurt them, hurt myself. Other people have hurt themselves using a protocol. So this is the protocol that I found that actually was a safe way to get yourself back in the game and move well and feel better and feel better. How many of you came here because you want to feel better? How many of you came here for the beach? Okay. You came for the beach. Pina colada. Okay. All right. Fair enough. So we're going to address. Yes. And I want you to remind me of that later because I wanted to talk to you guys about that from what I experienced this weekend, how I'm banging my head against the wall with some other people. But I want to address the whole energy thing. So remind me of that later, Elena, if you can. Oh, that's cool. That's all right. If that just keeps dinging, there's no big deal. Sounds like coffee's ready. Okay, so everybody who's laying in your static back and you're just kind of hanging out there, stay there. I'm going to take everybody else through an assessment who's never done this before. Or if you guys want to assess yourself for today and just figure out where am I at, that's a good idea to stand up right now. So we're going to all stand up. Best way to do this stuff is with no shoes on, but it's okay if you keep them on. That's okay. That's all right too. We've done that. So some of you guys don't like taking your shoes off. That's cool too. So we're just going to go through a quickie assessment because there are a few new people here. And our assessment is just figuring out where we're showing up today. Does that change from day to day? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Lori, specifically, Notice how you're standing and where your arms are, where your legs are. This is part of the assessment. So everybody just get a feel for where you're at. Am I leaning one way, leaning the other way? Take a look down at your feet. Oh, look at Kim. Okay, her right hip's coming forward, left foot's turning out. That's what we usually get. Just notice where you're at today. Not sure where you're at? Gee, which way am I? Going left, right? I'm not sure where I'm standing. Sometimes you can close your eyes. Sometimes you could bring your ankles and feet together and then you'll really see, okay, I'm leaning heavy on this side or going forward, back and around. This is all for you guys, all for you. This is subjective. This is what do I feel? Now I want you to get back into your regular stance. You're going to pick one leg up, bring your knee up to the height of your hip. I don't care which leg you do, pick it up. Whatever leg you do, I don't care. And try the other side. So we're just noticing, okay, what's going on? Notice which leg you picked up first. Usually the leg that you were standing on, it's usually my right leg. That's the leg I'm leaning most heavily into. So I'm off balance. So that's how I never tell you guys, okay, pick up this leg. I won't do that.
You have to pick up both legs too?
Yes. Smart ass, I like her. Okay, one more functional test. We're going to bend over in the direction of touching our toes. You don't have to touch them, but I just want you to notice what it feels. Oh gosh, look at Kim today. I can't even touch the floor on that first one. And I know why. Just notice how it feels. And come back up. Good. Assessment over. Try to remember how all of that felt. What moves should I take you through? Anybody not okay getting on the floor? Good, get on the floor, static back. I'll take you through those. So remember how everybody was laying down on the floor today? Bring your block with you because I didn't notice any one of you doing static back knee pillow squeezes. We're gonna hit that. So you're gonna lay on your back. You're gonna put your legs up on top of your chair or your ottoman or whatever it is. And I'm gonna keep talking to you while we're in static back. Now, some of you who are new to static back, you might notice your head doesn't want to hit the floor, right? We had one of those last time. Miss, sitting right there. We had to put a pillow underneath her head because her face was looking behind her because her posture was so rounded, it pulled her shoulders up and her head was looking behind her. And you can even hear it in my voice. All the strain that's being put on my voice because the head is pointed in this direction. So if that's happening to you, go ahead and put something underneath your head. We're going to stay here for 5 minutes. You guys who started in static back, you have no problem with that, right? Okay, back in static back. Where do you want the arms to be? Come on, guys. Where do you want the arms to be in static back? 45-degree angle. Right. Now 45 from your ears or 45 from your hips? From your hips, right. In a perfect world, where do you want the palms? Palms down, palms up, or palms up? Palms up.
45 now?
40, right here. Just like this, just like this. Perfect. Doing great, Paula. Good, everybody. For people who can't get down on the floor, this static back position, I'm going to teach you how I modify for everybody. I'm going to teach you how so that you don't have to ask the what. Whenever I have to modify a position, I'm trying to find a similar position just in a different, let's call it, no, that wouldn't be the right word. What was that?
Plane.
In a different, yes, in a different plane. Very good. In a different plane. She won. Guess what? You don't have to come back to class ever again. Good job. Right, right. So this static back position, I can certainly do in a chair. It's different, but at least I'm getting the same position and I'm giving somebody something that they can do that's similar if they can't get on the floor. So it's in a different plane. Good word. Thank you so much. I was looking really hard to find that word. God, I want to do some hard stuff today. I think we're gonna. Newbies out there, I'm going to show you the picture of where your posture in a perfect world should be lining up. I am going to walk around so you guys can see. So this is our sexy man. I think he's pretty sexy. He's looking good. This is my type of guy. When I'm looking around, this is what catches, yeah, this, he's quiet too. This is what catches my eye, is a guy who's got perfect proportions, right? Those old, let's say 1890s, even older. Everybody see Michelangelo's David? Beautiful, beautifully. Me too, he's mine. You want to fight it out? You guys know this guy, just David, right?
David.
Or Friedrich Leiten's, what does he call it? The athlete wrestling a python. Oh my goodness. Love that sculpture.
What about the women from that era?
Well, I'm talking, you're right. I am talking dudes because this guy happens to be a dude that I'm showing you a picture of, but you are absolutely right. Just beautiful. So how come your head is so high?
Because I feel better.
Good words. Your chin is almost in your chest. Do you realize that?
No.
Okay. So it feels better like that. Did you start out with your head on the floor?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to leave you like that. Do you guys know why I'm leaving her like that?
No.
Right, exactly, Denise. Because her words were, because I feel better. So I'll leave her like that. She feels better there, cool. Well, who am I to change that? Hopefully, over the course of some of these classes, you can feel just as good with your head laying on the floor.
Yeah. First time, let me see how.
There you go, Elena. So in a perfect world, this is where we should be lining up. That's it. You guys have seen this. My hot posture guy. Looks like the Silver Surfer. All right, perfectly proportioned, really no face at all. He could be anyone. He could be anyone. He's my fantasy tonight.
I with a little more meat on.
Yeah, so she likes a guy a little more meat. I like the athletic boys. 50 more seconds in static back, everybody. Keep your blocks nearby because we're going to go into static back knee pillow squeezes, and maybe we'll stand up and do some stuff. So in that perfect world, when I used to do one-on-ones with everybody and I'd take your posture pictures, we'd take them and we'd line it up with what we think is the perfect dude or dudette. When you drive a car down the street, you know where your wheels are supposed to be pointed. As long as the steering wheel's straight ahead, your wheels need to be straight ahead. Otherwise, some stuff might happen. You got toe in, toe out, your camber, your caster. This is the alignment I'm talking about on your wheels, right? If the alignment's out, what happens to your tires? They wear. Same thing with the body, except there's this industry that makes an awful lot of money out of telling you, oh, you're just old. And I call BS on that one. I call BS on that one. Right, Gloria? Feeling better? She sure is. So when people say, oh, I got a hip problem and this hip is all worn out because I'm old, I say, well, how old is the other hip? But it's a common sense question, right? It's funny. But it's so funny. It's like, hello, did you even think of that? So these are the questions that I'm going to be throwing out at you to help perhaps change your perspective on what is old, what should be happening to the body, and what should or shouldn't you be able to do. Put the block between your knees. Let's do knee pillow squeezes. So we're still in the static back position. I'm glad I brought you all up to speed with all that stuff. Now we can hit it hard. Exercises, here we go. So we're still in the static back position. If you're sitting in a chair, you could do this just the same. I'm just squeezing the block and letting it go over and over. Now, some of you have been using a block for a pillow, so you're going to need a second block. Who are you? Pick your legs up for me.
Oh, what's like?
Yep. Right there. Yep. You okay, Miss Paula? Pick your legs up for me if you can. I'm going to turn this and it might make it better or worse. Now drop your legs on top of this. Does that feel okay? Right? So guys, I'm making subtle changes to your positions. The chairs are only a certain height. So if you've got a longer femur or a shorter femur, you're not going to fit perfectly on the chair. But what we want to go for is as close to a 90-degree angle as possible. So does everybody know what I mean by that? You want your knees right over your hips. If your knees are not right over your hips, I want you to pull that chair closer to you so that you can get your knees right over your hips. Otherwise, this isn't doing as much of the work as it could be. It's not bad, but the closer you can get to that, the better off you are. So when you do this stuff at home, not like one of the other students who was here who took this class when I was teaching it, when you do this at home, you want to trap the body in a 90-degree angle if you can. So we're squeezing the block over and over. That's it. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Good question, Terry. So I can put the block in the most narrow position, the ones that you have out there. That's okay. I also like to turn it 90 degrees so it's in that kind of medium width too, depending on where your knees are and your hips are. Medium width, not the longest width. So some of you are going the longest width possible. Lori. Don't go, right. That's the longest you can go. Don't want to go there. You want to go the medium width. That's the narrowest.
What's the medium?
Well, there's only one more way you could turn it. There you go. That's it. That's it right there. That's it. You got it. You got it. My boyfriend can't stand that because when he asks a question, he just wants a straightforward answer. I want him to learn so that next time he doesn't ask me that same question. Right? So, yes, I know. I keep getting this. He will not learn, but yet I'll learn all his stuff. But yeah, he don't want to learn. I know all the turbo stuff and all the, yeah, forget it. So you guys might hate me if you're new, because when you ask me a question, I might answer you with another question so I can help get you to learn. Lori, I'm coming over because you're a little off balance. I'm going to turn this chair for you. Pick it. Yes, ma'am. Okay, try that.
Nice.
Right? Do you want to give that a shot too? Okay, Elena, here we go. Give that a try. It's tough for you and for Gloria. You're good. Yeah, it does feel different. When you have shorter femurs, these chairs, they fight. They fight. If you have a pillow behind your head and you're checking that out, I'd like you to try and pull the pillow out from under you and now try to put your head on the ground and see what that feels like. What we're looking for is what changed, not, oh, is that pain still there? Or, oh, I still feel uncomfortable. You want to notice what changed, what's different. There's no way you could tell me that nothing changed. No way. Because we just went through about 10, 15 minutes worth of exercise and something had to have changed.
More relaxed and without pain.
Did you have a pillow to start with?
No.
Okay.
I always know.
Okay. If you want to, you can go back to that pillow, but we want to look for, okay, did these exercises I just did create a change in my body? Don't force it, but we're looking for that change.
Almost a stretch and alignment, and it actually feels good.
Excellent. Thank you, Paula. So she says she feels more of a stretch and alignment and it feels good. And she's touching her neck while she's doing that. Good. Done with the knee pillow squeezes. Take the block out. I'm going to take you through pullovers and then we'll do some pelvic movements and stand up. So I don't want to do this without doing some shoulder stuff. So pullovers. If you guys want and you know that you love frog pullovers, go ahead and take it in frog. You don't have to do static back pullovers. So pullovers are just this. We're still laying in static back. So I'm still addressing the pelvis. Hands touch, elbows straight. Drop your hands overhead behind you towards the floor. And then back over your chest. It's a back and forth movement. Back and forth movement. Yep. I'm just showing the people on the video now. I'm going to stand up and show you guys. Do not bend your elbows. Everybody got that? Do not bend your elbows. Palms are touching. I interlace my fingers just to make sure that my palms stay touching. And when my hands come over my chest, I look at my elbows and I lock them out. Sometimes I turn my elbow creases towards each other because my elbows bonk my head as I go back and down. And back and forth. You're going to have a little bit of a tough time there because you got that block and your elbows are bending so much. So it's all right if you keep the block. Do not bend your elbows. Why do I keep saying not bend your elbows? Very good. I think that was Terry back there, right? Yes, because we want the movement to come from your shoulders. So what happens when you bend your elbows? Somebody else other than Terry. Right, it doesn't go on your shoulders. You bend the elbow, you do what's called compensate. You're compensating for what your shoulder doesn't want to do.
I'm really working out. I feel it.
Oh, good. Okay, so Ellen is like, I'm really working out. I feel it. Good. You should feel it. And this looks so easy, right? This looks so simple. But you know what? For a lot of people, this is challenging. It's simple, but it's challenging because it's a movement that our shoulders don't usually go through. And I'm also addressing your pelvis in this as well. This pullover motion addresses the latissimus dorsi, goes all the way down into your pelvis and into your hip. So this is actually a hip helper, believe it or not. As much as we're going through the shoulders, it's a hip helper. Great, everybody. I think we're done. I'm going to have you flip over and do some cats and dogs. If you don't want to do hands and knees, you could do pelvic tilts. I know a lot of you know that. And you lay on the floor, you could do some pelvic tilts. Or you could do it in your chair. I've seen cats and dogs done there too. Whether your hands and knees, chair, or pelvic tilts, we're just going to do 10 of them. So here's me in the chair. I'm going back and forth. You see what's going on with my spine, but I'm driving it from my pelvis. Do you also see what's going on with my shoulders? So as my pelvis tips forward and I go anterior, my shoulders come back and my head finishes the motion. Same thing on the floor. We got some cramps, right? Good girl. Linda, tell her how we feel about cramps. We love them. We love the cramps. Linda, can you use more words and like copy my words? Why do we love cramps?
Means we're working it.
Means we're working it. Right. I love her words. So what I always say is welcome to muscles that aren't working. If they're cramps that keep you up at night that you always have, that's different. But she's got a new cramp, something that was unexpected because we just turned on some muscles that haven't been on for her before, or at least recently. So we just kicked them on and she's going, ah, good. Hopefully we never see that cramp again because now those muscles are on and working. But we might catch it again, right, Denise? We might catch them all the time. I catch them in that left foot just as often. Separate your knees a little wider there. Yeah, you knew exactly who I was talking to. Wonderful. Good, everybody. Done with cats and dogs? Stand up, reassess yourselves. Remember all those movements and standing and checking things we did before? You're going to do that again. So check it out. And for your new people, I want you to tell me what changed. So you can do this thing again. Excellent. I see Barb already going through her functional tests. It might be better, it might be worse, because we changed some stuff. Sometimes if I do a bunch of exercises and I don't complete by adding a bilateral move, I'll stand on the leg and whoa, I'm way worse. So I need a couple more moves to kind of cinch it together. So just check it out.
My head feels a little like, but my body feels okay.
Do you feel like you need to sit down or anything? Okay, if that gets any worse, let me know and we'll get someone if you need. So that's not the first time that happens. It happens often enough to be addressed. So I'll address it. We're changing the body's alignment. So when the head is like stuck here, not like this is you, but when the head is stuck here or here or here, here, we're asking it to come back. So the nervous system is like, what? We've been here for 10 years and now we're here because the muscles change like that. And the body is just kind of doing this recalibration. So it can make you feel a little, as it tries to sense itself, proprioception, sense itself in space. Yeah, yeah, it's a recalibration. It's a recalibration. So if you're all right? Good. So everybody felt something different, right? All right, good. My job is done. What do you want to do next? Beach, man. She really wants the beach. we're going to do some harder stuff. And since we have a big class, I'm not going to take everybody to the wall because it's fairly large. Let's do some simple stuff. How about standing pigeon-toed? Gloria, you okay with that? Okay. If pigeon-toed, I remember somebody had different hip stuff going on. They couldn't internally rotate. If you can't do that, it's okay to just stand straight. But I'm going to ask everybody to now go pigeon-toed. So I'm internally rotating from both of my hips. You don't have to go crazy. I'm not looking for a straight line. You see how I force it? And now I kind of can't straighten my knees anymore. Look how awful that looks. So I just want you to turn in so that it looks kind of even. I don't care if you turning in looks like this. Do what you can and try and keep it even. So the big toes touch in a perfect world and knees stay straight. But again, if I walk it in as much as I can, look how I have to contort just to get it done. Not quite what we're going for. So you want to keep the knees straight. So find a position where it feels challenging, but you can still do it. 2 minutes, maybe 4, maybe 4. Because I might think of some other moves to give you while you're in here. Anybody have any questions or any stuff they want to see or hate seeing? No? We can make it so none of these new people ever come back if you want. If you Are you guys afraid of hard work? And it's kind of it's nice to joke, and I'm not saying, hey, that's bad, but sometimes we joke about stuff that's like, yeah, I really am uncomfortable doing that, and I'm probably never going to come back. And that's cool. There's some people who are like, wow, this is really hard work. I really need to work, and I'll never see them again. I'll never see them again. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing. And the protocol that this posture therapy is, it runs the full gamut from the really, really easy stuff, the therapy stuff, to, okay, what do I give an athlete a whole bunch of, okay, sit down. Okay, now do shoulder rolls. And now roll your shoulders the other way. Okay, now do some glute squeezes and knee pillow squeeze. Am I going to be able to give like a San Francisco 49er that kind of routine? Sometimes they need that because they're really bad. And that'll help get them back on track. But when that's done and they're back, they need some stuff to help hold that. And you need to get to the point where we're doing donkey kicks and push-ups and planks and running the right way and all this other crazy stuff, which is somewhat of what you guys saw last time. I was trying to bring you up to, okay, now you can do the stuff that the athletes do because you have the same body. You have the same body. You have the same body. Everybody feeling okay here? Let's go 1 more minute. You all right there, Laura? Yeah, Lori, excuse me. And sure to go. You okay, Laura? Good. She's going straight. So Miss Lori, is this tight, painful, cramping? Then go like this. Big toes touching. Get it in there. Hold there. Knees straight. Notice how her answer was different than, oh, well, it feels good. So I gave her, then do this. So as right. So now you know how to answer properly. But if something doesn't feel right, then I'm doing this because it hurts, because this is it, then do it that way. Okay, Barb? Yeah? It's awkward, right? It's like, whoa, whoa. Let's add some shoulder stuff to it. I want you to pin your shoulders on your back. Then lift them and lower them, but keep them pinned. As you lift up, this is called an elevation. As you lift up, there's a tendency to kind of round forward and protract the shoulder blades. Don't do it. So sometimes if you can't lift up any higher, the body's going to compensate, come out of retraction, and then continue the lift. Because if you held the retraction, it'd just go this far, because that's where we're stuck. So that's okay. Should be able to keep that retraction, that pinch, and lift up and go back. So keep that retraction while you do the lift and lower. And it's not a release too. I'm catching some people do that where they kind of lift, lift. Nope. Keep the retraction. Hold it. Lift, lower, like you're wiping the window behind you. Actively elevating, actively depressing. Yeah. Give me 5 more. 5 more. But hurts in a good way, right? Like it's work? Or does it hurt in a way like, this ain't good? Elena? It's good. Okay, it's good. I'm going to have you guys come out of pigeon toe. Shake it out if you have to. Do a reassessment if you want to. When I started this, I would do a reassessment maybe every 1 or 2 exercises just to see, what did this do to my body? What did this do to my body? And what am I taking home? Everybody who's new, if you're yes, if you're coming back, did you find any exercises that you might want to take home with you? All of them. Okay. Do you remember any of them? But that's the great thing about at least this sequence of classes is that it's recorded. So if you want, you can play it back on YouTube. So you don't have to write any of this stuff down or send me an email and say, Kim, can you send me the video on how this is done? Because I have those too. Everybody good?
I like laying down with the legs up on the chair.
Yeah. Does anybody know what that move is called? So you can tell Paula? Static back. Static back. And you don't have to remember it, but you'll end up remembering it. Static back. Good one. Let's do a static extension position. Everybody okay? If your shoulders do not feel good today, and loading on hands and knees is not your friend today, you can. I know. I was going to say it's the Denise hates this one. Remember, when we do static extension position, it's just a small difference to shift the body forward. It is not coming all the way forward in a plank. I've caught so many people who hate this move doing something like this. And this even looks painful. Look at my low back. This is a lot to hold. This is wrong. I don't use that word all often, but that's wrong. It's just a tiny, tiny, tiny slip. So how this move starts is you're on hands and knees. Your knees are underneath your hips and we're hip distance. It's usually about maybe the size of your fist in between your knees. About that, maybe a little wider. I'm gonna put the hands under the shoulders. Now I'm gonna put my palms where my fingertips are. That's it. It's only a 6-inch move. That's it. And then I'm going to shift my shoulders so they're back in line with my wrist. That's all. Now drop in. So I look like a sway back horse, but I'm not overdoing this. I used to do that. One of the other ladies who is out there right now, I know because I see her, she used to do that too. And so it's not a move for us per se, because our body loves to overcompensate by bending like a suitcase, and it can be painful. So you might want to lay in frog position if this one stinks for you. That'll help pull the pelvis the way I'd like it. So we're dropping the head, letting the shoulders come back and down. Remember, it's kind of like we just did that move before. And we're thinking like a sway back horse. Just let gravity do the drop. Don't force it. That's it. You okay?
Yeah, I can put my knee down. Still
Okay.
very painful.
You got a nice bruise on there. Say, okay, have a seat.
Like this before.
Sure, you can have a seat or you can lay down in frog position. I'm going to stay here for about 45 more seconds. If this move stinks for you, you can come out of it. Be right back. You all right, Miss Paula?
Yes.
Good, good. Put your palm where your fingertips are. Move your palm forward to where your fingertip. That's it. Do it with the other arm. Now shift your body forward. Right there, right there. Elbows nice and straight. Drop in. That's it, my lady. Strauss, is you okay? Oh, I love this one on the elbows. You okay, Jim?
Yeah.
Cool. Your hands are actually way forward of your shoulders. Do you feel a lot of strain in your shoulders because of that?
No.
Okay.
My
So
right,
here's where you want to be. So just shift forward. So your shoulders are back. No, I got my timer going. Can you suck it up for 15 seconds? Is that okay? Cool.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done.
Done.
Whiner, you okay over there? Denise paid you to say that. That's static extension position. That's a toughie. Can everybody feel what joints we were loading? New words for some of you. Shoulders, yeah, but they are load-bearing joints. These joints are meant to be loaded. Do you see the size of this joint as opposed to my finger? You think I could load my finger the same way? Well, maybe if I'm not that crazy guy from China who does his push-ups like that, that's insane, but he does it. Okay, cool. But for most of us, right, this is a load-bearing joint. Ah, did you mean emotionally or did you mean physically? Now that as well, especially us, you put your fingers in your ears there, Jim, especially us as ladies, we tend to bear a lot of load emotionally. So we got a lot of,
My neurologist just told me that. Just he said.
well, then that's exactly what you needed to hear today. Everybody good with static extension position? Good. Let's do some stretchy stuff that you might hate or love. We're going to stay on the floor. We're going to do upper spinal floor twist, hip crossover stretch, see what other kind of stuff we have time for. I'm going to try and beat you up. Keep your block nearby. We're going to do some stuff in this hook lying position. I'm going to have everybody lay down on the floor. Let's do an upper spinal floor twist. So we're going to lay in the position of on your side. If you cannot lay on the floor, you could do this simply in a chair. It's the same idea. So I'm just sitting in a chair and I'm just twisting, really. That's all it is. So I'm laying on my left side, just so my cueing can be uniform. I'm really trying to stack my legs, just like we did in that first move, right? The static back, knees, ankles, hips, everything stacked. Top hand is going to open like a book. Here's where a lot of you go wrong. You end up with your arm down here. You want to keep that arm in line so that this move gets to the right place and turns on the muscles that I'm looking for. I also take my left hand and hold my knees together because I don't want my knees to slip. If they do, now I'm cheating. Right, Linda? Right. And we're just going to hang out here. Your face eventually will be looking up towards the ceiling, maybe even towards your hand. But when I start out with this move, I'm usually just looking on the floor wherever my neck feels comfortable. And we're just hanging out here, everybody. I'm going to give you 2 minutes here. Guys, this is a static move. Stop moving. Open and hold. It's so interesting. Some of you guys, I catch it all the time. They turn this into a moving thing. And as long as you guys are facing each other, you'll do the same wrong move. It's so cute. I love it. Okay, coming over to help. Everybody okay in this position? Cool. You can hang out here. And Paula, watch me from where you're at. You're looking great, my lady. So watch me over here. Keep the stack. This arm's going to open like a book. Go ahead and twist your upper body too. This arm is going to come down here. I think I might give you a block. I'm going to get you a strap too. Here's your block for your head.
Oh,
So you see how I'm adjusting for her shape? So she's got things going on where I need to elevate her head because it's not hitting the floor comfortably. I'm going to get you a strap too so that you can hang on there. Do you understand? Open up and hold. Where are my straps? About 30 more seconds here, everybody. Those legs, this should help, right? Isn't it nice though? Isn't it nice? Woo, we're getting to be real good friends. A little better, right? And eventually that arm's gonna hit, yeah, but just to hang on to the legs. Eventually that arm's gonna hit the floor. Eventually, palm up, palm up. Just let it stretch. I'm gonna switch to the other side, everybody. Oh, stay right there. Stay right there, my lady. Ready? Knees up. Are you okay here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Legs out to me. Are you okay twisting your upper body?
Which way?
So this part is going to end up on the floor. You can put this under your head if you need
It
to.
might be too much for my back.
Gotcha. Okay. So if this one stinks for you, you can go into static back for a while. Remember that first move that you did that you loved so much? Go ahead. You could take that. So we're on the other side, everybody. So what we just did over here, she said, I think this might be a little too much for her. Okay, cool. Skip the move. It's not okay for her today. Maybe it will be. Did everybody switch? Did you switch? Elena, switch. Switch. What's a word? Switch. To change.
going the other side.
Yes, the other side. Yes. So we use the word switch. Means change. Yes, change. Okay, you may. Just like Paula's, she's doing static back. She's going back to that first move. Yeah, because it does, this one isn't working for her. It's okay. So this move is upper spinal floor twist. I'm going to stay here for about 45 more seconds or so. So this move we're hanging out in for at least 2 minutes because I got to show you guys what to do. If my arm doesn't hit the floor right off the bat, what do I do? Trick question. Leave it. Right, exactly. You leave it. Why am I leaving it? What's so important about it? What are we doing? We're stretching. Right. We're stretching. We're activating. We're realigning. We're asking the body, hey, you should be able to do this. You can't do it anymore? Okay, we'll work on it. 20 seconds. Even less. Another thing I always find myself answering is, well, should the body be able to do this? And that question is always yes, right off the bat. It should be able to, but did you get run over by a car? Did you get trampled by a horse? I mean, so many people went through so much stuff. You may not be able to do it anymore, but going in the direction of trying to facilitate that again is a good direction. Come on out. Let's do hip crossover stretch. Out of hip crossover stretch, we're going to do something even harder. And then we'll do something easier, and then I'll let you guys go. So hip crossover stretch looks like this. Similar idea because there is rotation. So you also may not like this one. This may not work for you, but it's all right to learn it and to check it out because eventually I suspect you're going to be doing it. So we're going to come from that hook lying position. That's what this sucker is called, hook lying. I am going to cross an ankle to my knee, but I want you guys to watch what I don't do to cheat. Right, cheaters? Ankle to knee. Let me show you what cheaters do. And I want you to tell me what I did. Ankle to knee, here's the cheater. You see what I did? Or you're too busy laughing? Here, well then what did I do? What did I do to cheat? No, cheating, bring it all the way down. What'd you notice, Paula? Right, Paula's got it. So I moved my leg to cheat. This leg went, and then I twisted. Keep it in place. Your feet go hip distance. Your ankle goes to your knee. You twist. Your foot should hit the floor. Your knee should hit the floor. Your top knee, I want you to draw away from you until it points to the sky. Another angle for some of you that can't see. I'm not letting this knee flop in. I'm using my hip muscles to draw it away. Arms are out to a T if I can manage it. Palms face down. Look in the opposite direction of your twist if you can. And you stay in it. This is not an in, out move. This is a twist, static, stay. Palms face down if you can muster it. You're looking good, Eleanor. That was good. Doesn't matter which leg you do. We're going to do both sides. Good. Arms out. Palms down. Twist through your back slowly to the right. Yes, ma'am. Keep going. Much as you can go for now. You okay, Barbara? Coming in and out because it's tight. Everybody good? Some of you will love it. Some of you will hate it. But I find some of the moves that you guys hate the most are the ones that your body actually really needs, or that you might be doing it so incorrectly that your body's saying, hey, man, you're really doing something wrong here. Please don't do this. It hurts. Hold for another 30 seconds. Denise, I'm coming because I know that you know this move really well, and I'm going to help get you a little bit deeper into it. So your right foot is actually inverting. Your knee's pointing here, but your foot is pointing there. So yes, and that happened to me too before somebody pointed it out. Very good. So you could draw that knee away as much as is good. Cool. Same thing. Your knee stays here, your foot stays here. Now, I want you to try and press the instep of your foot down to the floor while this knee is drawing out. I know, right? Right? A little nuance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, switch. Change sides. When you switch, I catch some of the new people doing this. They go to switch and they're all twisted in this move, blah, blah, blah. They come out and they just, da, 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 da. I need you to set up squarely from the beginning because your body will have shifted and moved. Keep your feet in line with your hips. Cross the ankle over. Make sure the foot doesn't slide. Twist. Trick question. Is this a stretch or a strengthening move? You're right. It is both. A lot of these moves aren't really just stretches. They're not for the sake of stretching. They're for the sake of reactivating. Different lexicon there. And I hope you'll learn how to use it because it's not just a stretch. We're not trying to lengthen any tissues without realigning something else and turning something else on so that it will remember, okay, tissues should be able to do this and incorporate the rest of the body with it. 15 more seconds. Everybody cool? Sorry I talk so much. I am tired of hearing myself too. Nice job, Jim. You okay? Yeah, this is a good one. I'm feeling like I need that too, but man, I could give myself so many exercises and we'll run out of time real quick. So Jim's doing some knee drops. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come on out. That's an excellent idea. In fact, I'm going to do it. And you guys are going to do it with me if you're okay. He's doing knee drops after this, and I think that's an excellent idea. His body needs it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us need it too. So you're going to keep your feet pointed straight ahead, and we're just dropping the knees back and forth like a windshield wiper. Some of you who cannot go internal with your hips, you're going to keep your feet a little bit narrower. Your body's going to do it automatically anyway. But I'd like your feet to stay hip distance if you can do it. So people like maybe Gloria or Marcia, they're going to keep their feet narrower. You're going to drop the knees back and forth, nice and easy. Then you're going to grab your block. You're going to put it right between your knees. And we're going to do hook lying knee pillow squeezes. A little bit different than what we did in the static back. But we're doing it. I need a block for me. Okay. We're just laying on the floor and we're squeezing the block over and over and over again. That's it, right between the knees. Where do I want my feet to be when I do this? Cool. Align with your hips. Great. Do I want my feet everted or inverted? Trick question. Straight, right. It's a trick question because neither. I want your feet to be straight, parallel. Squeeze and release. Over and over. That's it. Cool. Linda, you have a tendency to go internal with both of your knees and your femurs. So when your body does that, the feet always come out wider to compensate. So, right. So what I always do is I'll put the block between my feet. Good. And that's how I know that my feet will be in the same width. Easy one, right? Can I do this sitting in a chair? Yeah, sure I can. Barbara, are you okay if I set your feet a little bit wider apart? I'm going to put this block between your ankles. Okay. There we go. And that'll kind of set up at least closer to hip distance. Now I'm going to put this between your knees, close on it, and go for there. Is that okay? No. Try again. In fact, you can go a little wider with your feet, my dear. Okay. The block is right between your feet on a little wider setting. I want you to bring your feet in until they touch the block. Right there. Try it there. Oh, okay. Try there. How does that feel? Okay. All I'm doing is I'm trying to line up your knees and your ankles with your hip joints. That's all I'm doing. And if it stinks and you like it better the first, go back to the first way. I'm not coming around to say, hey, that's wrong, that's wrong. All I'm doing is thinking of alignment. That's how I address everybody's issues on my shoulder, my elbow, my boyfriend, my husband. Can you please just, drive him off a cliff? Whatever. This is how I address it. Well, how's your posture? Don't laugh, Paula. I get paid big bucks to do that. So I don't chase pain. I always bring myself back to, okay, how is this person showing up? Where's their alignment? Good. Take the block out of your knee. We're going to do one more move laying here. Glute squeezes. Haven't seen these in a while, right? We're still laying on the floor, hook lying position. You're going to squeeze your butt cheeks together and let them go over and over and over again. This chair being right by your feet is actually cramping you and stopping you from moving your feet out probably where they might be better. Maybe. There and there, give that a shot. Just butt squeezes. Good. Those look really good. Nice and powerful. Make sure you're not using your belly. That's the kicker. Oh, we got a couple. So how do you know if you're using your belly instead of using your butt muscles here? It moves, right? And while she's saying it moves, she's putting her hand on her belly. So put your hands on your belly if you've never done this before, and make sure when you're doing your butt squeezes that there's no belly going on. I dig my fingers past my fat into my muscle so I could feel, okay, is it contracting? Because if it's doing any contraction at all, your butt isn't doing all the work and it should be. So dial back your effort and keep trying. The more you do of these, the more the body's going to shift its way into using the butt anyway, because the belly can't keep doing what the butt should be doing. The other kicker is this. Some of you really can't address glute squeezes and you can't, recruit the muscles. Put your hands on your butt if you've never done this before and make sure that your butt is doing the squeezing. Hands on the butt. Do you actually feel your butt muscles doing anything? I had a 20-year-old. It took us, 15, 20 minutes. Her butt couldn't do this. Every time she squeezed, nothing was going on. Jelly, nothing. But it took a little while. If that's you, I don't mean hands underneath your butt like to put them underneath your tailbone. I mean, put your hands on your, squeeze a good chunk of your butt. I don't mean I mean, hold your butt and see, is that muscle doing work? That's what I mean. If it's not, straighten your legs out and try it there. If it is doing work, then keep working there. Can you do this sitting in a chair? Yeah. Can you do this standing online at Dunkin' Donuts? Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Do this in any position you want. Good, we got a few minutes left. I guess I'll have you guys stand up. We'll finish out with some standing moves. If you guys feel like you need to reset after being on the floor like that and you want to do some cats and dogs, you could do that too. You know, cats and dogs. So sometimes you need just a little loading and a little reset before you actually stand up. You might need that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. You see how I'm always throwing this in. Hey, maybe you need this. Maybe try this. Maybe try that. Because again, I don't live in your body. So hopefully you're coming full circle and you're able to go, this one's good for my body. This one, not so much yet. I'm going to stand up, do your reassessment for all you guys that are new. Who did that? The mat terror came in. Some of you are going to hate this last exercise. I'm going to give you arm circles because I need it. And I don't care about you. So we're going to do arm circles. I'm going to do it in the kneeling position. Some of you might want to do it in the standing position, but you're going to take the modified golf grip any way you do it. If your shoulders hurt today, you're just going to stand there and do shoulder rolls. Give me 10 forward and 10 back. Modified golf grip looks like this. It's a flat hand grip. Palms are open. I'm showing everybody in TV land. If you're doing it standing, make sure your feet are straight ahead and look down, everybody. I love how everybody goes like this. Oh, look at your feet. At your feet, they better be straight ahead and they better be right underneath your hips. Keep the grip, shoulders pinch, arms out, circle up and forward. nice and vigorously, because what we're doing is go the other direction, Lori. There you go. It's okay. Palms are down first, and then we'll go palms up. We're going vigorously so that we're perturbing the torso so that it turns on the hip flexors. So your belly has to be relaxed when you do it. Then we're going to circle backwards, turn your palms up to do that. I'm doing this in the kneeling position because that's what's going to help pull my pelvis into the right alignment. You guys can play with that. You could do it kneeling, you could do it sitting. And this is our last move for today. You guys have any questions or any stuff you don't ever want to see again or anything like that? It's down to you to let me know. Everybody in TV land, I'm going to let you go, but stay online if you do have any questions. It's always good to see you guys. We're going to cut off the recording for now. And if you want to revisit it because something was really good for you, please do so. It's on YouTube.